What's the story, lads? Welcome back to Gaelic Games Fan TV. How are we all getting on? How is the form? So, the All-Ireland quarter-final draw has happened. It's official. We know now what 8 teams will be playing each other. We know what 4 games we'll be having, obviously, next weekend. Dublin are playing Galway. Donegal are playing Louth. Kerry are playing Derry. And Armagh versus Roscommon. This is going to be a quick video. We're going to react to the draw and discuss the... We're not really going to preview the games. We're going to wait and do that maybe a little bit later in the week. But nonetheless, we are going to just discuss the draw, lads, because I think the quarterfinals, the All-Ireland quarterfinals are, for me, I would say arguably the biggest weekend in Gaelic football. You know, you've got some really cracking games. Last year's All-Ireland quarterfinals were incredible. I mean, the Dublin Mayo... I mean, to be fair, the games actually probably didn't live up to the hype. I mean, Dublin hammered Mayo, Kerry beat Tyrone fairly convincingly, but just the whole camaraderie, like the build-up and everything else. And I feel like Croke Park, it's the first time probably all year where we really get Croke Park fully packed out. The fans are obviously bang up for it, and like, what games, lads. I mean, Dublin Galway, for anyone who's been watching the channel in the last week or so, you'll know I am currently away on holiday, and I tell you what, lads, I've got some view for this video. I mean, I'm probably never going to record a video with a better view than that. I mean, that's not bad, is it? It's not too bad at all. An ill view of the mountains over there as well. Ah, sure, we'll take it, what? Dublin Galway, though, on the Saturday. So I'm flying home Saturday. I actually should make it home before the game. But yeah, it's gonna be touch and go. I mean, it would be something else if I managed to just go straight to Croke Park. But no, it's a long flight, lad, so I don't think I'll be doing that. But look, an incredible draw. You know, like Dublin Galway, Dublin's record against Galway obviously in the championship is very good. They definitely we obviously couldn't play Louth, we couldn't play Roscommon because of repeat parents. So between Galway and Derry, to be honest, Galway was the one I wanted, just because I think Derry are coming in with momentum now. They're coming in with form. Look, I think they could be a little bit leggy when they take on Kerry. You know, obviously haven't had such a long game obviously against Mayo. They obviously had to dig it out against Westmeath as well. So like, they could be shattered, lads. They could be shattered going into it. But I just think Derry are, when Derry are at their best, they're more dangerous in my opinion than Galway. I think from a Dublin perspective, because we're very good at beating Galway. Do you know, we haven't lost to them in the league since 2010. Haven't lost to them in the championship since I think the 1930s. So we do seem to have a very good knack at beating this Galway side. And like, Galway are very good defensively. But I think in Croke Park, like, that's where this Dublin team could really open them up. Galway obviously having played last week, you know, like, I think they'll be a little bit more tired. It could be a little bit more leggy. Donegal Louth, I think, is a very interesting one as well. Look, on paper, you would look at that and think Donegal should win it fairly comfortably. But Louth are coming in with momentum as well, lads. Like, they're coming in with a lot of momentum, a lot of hype. Obviously, huge win versus Cork. I saw a little bits and bobs of it obviously yesterday. Sort of caught the end of the game. Obviously, you had the Tailteann Cup semi-finals on yesterday as well, which I know I haven't really spoke about, which a little bit disappointed by. But all in all, like, I think it's a cracking game, Donegal Louth. And I think Donegal, you know, like, what an opportunity for them to get to a semi-final. To think they haven't got to a semi-final since 2014, and Jim McGuinness was in charge, and you know, they're on the cusp now. They're absolutely on the cusp. But Louth, when Louth came to Croke Park, they had a clear game plan for Dublin. They played very well. They're probably getting more used to Croke Park nowadays. So who's to say they don't pull off the shock? Look, on paper, it's probably it's the game you would look at and say Donegal should win it, and they should do it, and everything else, especially with Louth having put so much into that win over Cork. But at the same time, like, you would have to say that Louth have a chance. And Armagh Roscommon, I think, is very even as well. The Rossies obviously beaten Tyrone. They finally found a bit of form this year. Armagh, we know, have had a bit of a, you know, hoodoo in quarterfinals in recent seasons. Like, Armagh fans, I remember when they got Monaghan last year, would have been delighted. And I think ultimately, look, Armagh will be happy to get Roscommon, and Roscommon will be happy to get Armagh. Like, both of those two be very happy to obviously draw each other. And look, it could really go either way, that one. Like, you would have Armagh slight favourites, given obviously what they've done to Derry recently, their performance against Galway, getting themselves back in the game. But the Rossies will make that tough, and after beating Tyrone, they won't fear Armagh. And the thing is now, as well, is that Roscommon, I think the objective for the year for Roscommon was to get to a quarter-final. Do you know what I mean? I think that was the clear objective, because they haven't done that in the last 2 years. So they've already progressed on what they done last season and got a big win versus Tyrone in the championship as well. So it's kind of a free hit, and all the pressure's on Armagh, and we've saw what's happened with Armagh when they've had pressure. Do you know that way? So look, it's four very, very good games. Dublin, Galway, I mean Kerry, Derry as well. The thoughts of that, the fact that one of them are going to go out. As a Dublin fan, not going to lie, very happy that draw happened because, again, it's another big team that are being knocked out of the championship. But to think as well, like Derry, having come through Westmeath, come through Mayo in the way they did, obviously with a last-minute equaliser, and then obviously going to penalties. If they get through Kerry, they're probably going to have to get through Dublin at some stage. Like, we could be looking at one of the greatest All-Ireland wins of all time if it was to materialise. But look, to be fair, it's very, very hard for them still. And I even would say they still have a lot of improvement to do, even off of the last performance against Mayo. I still think they can play better. I still think they can improve. But look, you can't sleep on Kerry as well. And like, what way will they come into this game, given the fact that they obviously haven't had a real test in the championship so far? They probably slept walk through the league a little bit here and there, that way. So what way are they going to come into it? It's going to be very, very interesting. But look, we'll certainly do a preview, obviously, a little bit later in the week, break the games down in a little bit more detail. Obviously, you did have the Tailteann Cup semi-finals yesterday as well. Huge win for Laois. Massive win, obviously, for Down as well. Haven't saw too much of either of those games just yet, so I'll probably have to watch the Sunday game at some point. But yeah, massive. And to think Laois, what a job Justin McNulty has done there. Like, the fact that they're one win away from the All-Ireland series, when you think under Billy Sheehan, back-to-back relegation, straight down to Division 4. But Down at the same time. Look, it's Down's final to lose. They've been there last season. Like, they want to get out of this Tailteann Cup. They want to get into the All-Ireland series. We saw them nearly beat Armagh a little bit earlier in the year. So, I think absolutely massive from a Down perspective. But, Tailteann Cup final, obviously, in a couple of weeks. Quarterfinals this weekend. So, looking forward to previewing them. Looking forward to breaking the games down. Anyone who tuned in, hit the like button and subscribe. Do appreciate all the recent views and some of the recent videos, even with being away and everything else. It's nice to see the channel still growing and everything else. So cheers anyone who tuned in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the quarterfinal draw. Let me know what game you're most excited for. Like the fact that Kerry Derry game is on the Sunday. I'll be back well rested. I might even go to it, lads. I won't lie, because I was planning obviously to go to the Dublin game if it was on the Sunday. So that'll be an absolute cracker of a game. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on the draw in the comments down below. Speak to you all again.